Hello folks, and welcome back to another review and thoughts on. I just got done checking out the film I, Tonya, which is a um, biopic film pretty much of the infamous ice skater Tonya Harding, who is really famous mostly for a famous 1994 attack on her rival Nancy Kerrigan, who people don't know if she really did have a part in it or not. The movie's basically like a mockumentary where you have Tonya played by Margot Robbie and a couple other people like Stephen Rogers and Tom Ackerley. Um, Pretty much you have Tonya who is telling her side of the story, and then you have her husband telling her his side, ex-husband telling his side, and then you have a few other people telling their side of the story, and pretty much um, it's based loosely on real events. The movie depicts Harding as a victim, ignoring evidence that implicate her criminal stuff, as well as her actions. Um, the movie was, I guess, a big hit with the critics because it got a lot of praise, and Margot Robbie mostly good reviews on her, which I gotta say her acting, I don't mind her in films such as Focus. I like Focus. Um, I liked her in Suicide Squad as Harley Quinn. I thought she was good as her. I'm not as excited for Birds of Prey as much. I mean, uh, I like Harley Quinn's, and I liked her playing Harley Quinn, so I guess that's a plus. But I'll wait to see that. But pretty much the movie goes through the early 80s through, where it starts at the 70s when she's like 4 years old, and that's when she, I guess, won one of her first trophies or medals as a skater. Which, okay, um, I didn't even know you can win that early at that age in that sport. But her dealing with her mom, who's a despicable woman, hugely. I don't know if she must be really like that in real life. She must have been really heck to deal with, because what they portray her as in this film is like a female Joe Jackson. Not to laugh about, but like this woman's despicable to where she literally, when there's a scene when she visits Tonya when about the Nancy attack thing. She goes to visit her at her house. She tricks her, tries to trick her into confessing if she had anything to do with it. And then Tonya pretty much was smart enough to know she was recording, and then throws her out of her house. But she was like, "I'm proud of you," and stuff like that. And then she hugs, and then but she was hesitant to even hug her own daughter when in that. I'm like, wow. And then there's a scene when the guy's heckling and insulting Tonya at a uh, competition thing. The guy's like calling her names, and this is when she fired like her childhood coach, ice coach woman. So she has this new coach, but this guy in the audience, the mom literally, you see the scene, she's there watching this guy attack her, well, not physically, but yell at her and call her names, and then she hands him like money after he's done. I'm like, what? Are you serious? You're that low down to do that to your own daughter? I hate to imagine what she had to go through as a kid, because I already know that had to mentally mess her up, because mom hits her, she throws stuff at her, she yells at her, and her dad, I guess, is kind of, he's not, I can't say he's deadbeat because he's around, but I guess he ends up leaving them forever. He's like, I can't take this no more. I'm like, why didn't you just take it? But then he's like, well, I can't, I work a lot, so I can't really watch you and work. I'm like, but then like they're quote unquote what rednecks, so I guess they can't afford. But I'm like, who cares? Just take your daughter away from this terrible woman. How is CPS not even involved? This woman acts the way she acts even in public, like she beat her in the bathroom. I forget why. I can't remember if it was because she made her pee herself on the freaking ice plate in the ice rink. Because she wouldn't let her go to the bathroom. So she's like, not until you do a certain move or whatever. I'm like, wow. And then she throws a knife at her at one point in her arm, and she doesn't say sorry or anything. Like, you just grow to hate the mom. But then, and I don't know if, I mean, I guess growing up that a certain abuse, I don't know how that works because I never grew up like that. But man, I feel bad for the people that go through that. And then in their adult lives, they mentally accept that to where if like your boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever, hits you and oh that's okay because they love me, so that's why they do it because they love me, so I'm allowed them to abuse me and all that. And that's pretty much like what this movie touches on, uh, sprinkles of it anyway, which that does actually happen in real life. So I give the film credit for not shying away from real life issues. Um, she pretty much grows up and her parents take her out of school to focus on skating career, trains, and even when she is successful, her mom's still like a total deal hole. And so even when she gets married at like I think 19, she goes to her wedding reception or whatever, and the mom's like, "You don't screw the dummy or whatever you." Or no, you don't marry the dummy, you screw the dummy or something like that. I'm like, wow. Even at her own wedding, this woman, even at her daughter's wedding, she can't even be civilized. She can't even say, I'm happy for you, or congratulations. Even with a phony smile on her big day, and then you do that. I'm like, wow. Screw you, lady. Screw you. Goes to her at 15, she ends up dating an 18-year-old guy, Jeff, who becomes like her husband and pretty much abuses her. But then, of course, that's a he said, she said thing where he tells his side of the story where, no, she was the abuser to me, not the other way around. And, and the mom in a scene when she knows that this is going on, and she totally encourages Tonya to stay with this guy. She even encourages the fact, or she supports the fact that her husband is abusing her daughter, to where they're sitting at a dinner table, and she's like, "Well, I guess, or maybe if you kept your mouth shut, then maybe he wouldn't hit you or whatever." I'm like, "What?" And then she's like, "At least that gives somebody." I can't remember what she even said. She said something about her at least not having to hit her anymore because she knows she finally has somebody else to beat her down or something. I'm like, wow. So even she can't even like, wow. So she knows her husband. She knows a man who is she's married to abusing her daughter. Does nothing about it. Doesn't even encourage her to leave him. Or she she either says she puts up with it, but like you don't try to fight back, or maybe you deserve to get hit. I'm like, wow. I'm surprised if she hasn't even thought about suicide at all. Um, Tonya blames her mom for raising her badly, which, yeah. After a dispute with her mom, she pretty much, oh no, with the childhood coach, she fires her, hires another one. Then Tonya does the famous triple axle jump in the competition. Then it goes to the early 90s, and that's when they're trying to really get noticed. She fails pretty much at the Olympics, Winter Olympics, comes in fourth, defeated. She moves in back with Jeff because she broke up with him and then got back with him. She keeps going back and forth. They do this back and forth thing where she dates him and then, I hate you, I'm leaving you, I love you, I'm going back with you, I'll marry you and then divorce you. But then you have this guy. At first, I kind of like the friend Sean, that Jeff's friend Sean, is heavyset fat guy. Well, not fat, but you know, he he was funny because what he would say, he believes like he's this international spy and international bodyguard of Tonya, and like but later on, like he confesses to the police how it was it was their idea to hit on or to attack Nancy, and then that's when you have the investigation with all that going on. But it all comes down to everybody gets, well, Tonya gets the most, I think, worst deal in her mind because they, while the two other guys get charged with, what, 2 years of jail, I believe, or something like that. Um, Tonya finishes eighth, and pretty much Nancy wins the silver medal. Tonya avoids jail, but is banned from competitive skating for life, so she can't skate at all ever again. To where it was sad. I felt bad for her when they did the court scene when the judge finds her not guilty, but charges her with that, where she's like, uh, she'll take jail time that way she can still skate. And I'm like, no. To me, she's getting off easy because who wants to go to jail? I mean, granted, she grew up skating, so that's all she knows really. And to her, losing that is like jail and a lifetime sentence, I guess. But that's the only thing she really knew how to do. But judge refuses to even go with that, to go for whatever. And Jeff later at the end of the movie pretty much acknowledges that he ruined her career, changes his name, remarries, opens a hair salon, divorces, remarries. The mom, I guess, moves to Washington State and has no contact with Tonya at all. So, okay, good riddance. Tonya remarries, divorces, takes up professional boxing, becomes a landscaper, house painter, a deck builder, and now she's happily married, or not married, but happily with a 7-year-old son and third husband. And it says she wants everybody to know she is a good mom, which I hope she is, compared to what her own mother was like. And there was a thing where her mom in the movie said how when when Tanya went to go see her at her job waitressing, she's like, I pushed you even though knowing that you would hate me for it, and I made you a champion, and screw like her mom for just being a good mom to her when she could have made her something, I get, or something like that. So she kind of resents her own mom back in the day, or whatever. So And then there's debate whether she even really loved Tonya, if she even loved her own daughter. Which I'm like, wow. The music I thought was pretty good. I actually like some of the songs in the movie. I can't say they're great songs, but I would say I didn't mind them. I do wonder what the real Tonya Harding has to say about it, or if she even saw it or anything like that. But yeah, I didn't mind it. I don't think it's one of the best films ever made, but or the year when it came out, 27. I don't think it's one of the best of that year or it of all time. But I thought it was a decent biographical film uh, of a infamous, famous celebrity person who, at the end of the day, lost everything. If you think about it, she did, but she didn't. But she did. She worked all those years to become the best that she wanted to be. And it's kind of sad how there was a line in the movie when she said that how people uh, she finally, when people are starting to like her and accept her, she's like, or people love her. Finally, people actually love her for her and not hate her. So I thought that was kind of sad. But um, wow, yeah, and they did show like at the end the real people, like they showed the real Tonya Harding, her mom, who can pirate bird or ferret, whatever it's called, on her shoulder, pecking at her. Wow. Yeah, it's a decent movie about the price of fame, I guess you can sort of say. I don't know about, well, it's about, but oh, and then there's the thing with the judges that goes on a little bit, how they don't. She's like, to me, I thought she did good petitions, and they just hold her back just because she's not Miss Goody Two Shoes, perfect, Goody, All Hell America, Miss America wannabe girl. I'm like, how about you just judge her on her skills? Like, isn't that what the sport is? You're writing the scores based on their performances, I would assume. And then no, you don't have. And then they criticize her for her attire that she wears because she makes her own stuff, which I thought that's pretty cool. How she has to make good, like, professional. I kind of liked how she made her own outfits instead of buying them, but that ought to made her stand out more. Put her own style and stuff into them, but whatever. I didn't mind the film. I thought it was decent, pretty good film. If you're a fan of Margot Robbie, or if you're interested in the whole, if she wasn't a part of, but she was a part of, but she wasn't, or he said, she said type of thing, I would say give it a watch. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and love, or peace and love.